Hello, everybody, and we are coming today with Tiffany talking about the sexual energy and how we actually magnetize and how we can emphasize it as our creative energy. Because a lot of people don't have that awareness, which I was also one of them before I started to dig deeper, but to understand that sexual energy is just like a driving force. When we actually bring up that sexual energy, it means we are full of energy to do our projects, to have best relationships, to do everything what we desire in our life. And I want Tiffany to share some wisdom on that.
If you think about sexual energy, it's really life force energy. It all comes from the sacral chakra, that sexual energy, and we literally create life from there. And when you can really tap into that, it allows you to manifest what you want in your life. And so many of us, especially high powered women, are cut off from that energy. We have that, we're in our heads, we're fierce, we're great at what we do, but we cut off that sensuality and that connection to our sacral chakra because society's told us we can't be too sexy, or we're not going to be appreciated, or somebody's going to take us the wrong way. But then that cuts off who we are as a woman.
So true. That's so beautiful. And you know what, for me, what comes to that when you're talking about that we cut off, and it's true, because me as a manifestation coach, I always talk about the frequencies, right? And if we look at the chart of emotions on the frequency, believe it or not, the lowest emotion is the shame. And I think a lot of times people are even ashamed to talk about it. And especially the way the society portrays that it's okay for men to talk about sex, and the more partners they have, the more, glorious they are. But for women, it all works in the opposite direction. So let's just shed some light, because it's not about being shameful, because it's part of our nature. And I think that especially women's sexuality, it's so great when we explore, when we experience, and how we can actually use the benefit of it for our own advantage.
Yes. So when we really tap into that, it awakens our whole being. I mean, it's nothing new. Napoleon Hill talked about sexual transmutation in Think and Grow Rich. And he said all the most powerful men in the world are highly sexual beings. And it's women too. That we are, when you really tap into that, and it's not cutting off sexual activity, it's actually taking that energy and using it for creative good. And when you always meet people that you're like, I don't know what they've got, but I want it, that's sexual energy. That's when I walk into a room, I'm not the most beautiful person in the room, but I can tell you people are attracted to my energy and they flock to me because it's that vibe. You just vibe at a different level.
So true. Again, we talk about frequency, right? You are actually vibing on a higher frequency, and that's exactly how we attract, because everything is energy. And if we think that energy actually introduces us even before we start speaking, so people don't even understand with their minds or logical mind, like why do we get attracted to somebody, or why we are repellent by other people, right? So it's all about, because our energy talks. And as you mentioned, Tiffany, that's true, especially like looking at these successful people. Most of them are very attractive. That means that they do exude a lot of sexual energy. And it's beautiful, because even the psychologist Carl Jung was saying that sexual energy, we can direct it for our art project, for our creativity level, right? So it's not only the physical attractive, which is part of the process, but also if we consciously understand that we can create whatever, the writing, the painting, We can come up with the creative ideas to create something that nobody else was thinking about, right? It's all drawn, it's all channeled from our sexual energy.
Yes, that creative piece is so big. And what a lot of women, I think, don't understand is that it comes from you. It doesn't have to be sexual energy with someone else. When you create your own pleasure and your own climax, then that all that power and all those neurochemicals and connecting chemicals that create bonds with other people actually go through your own system and create self-love and power for yourself. And you can manifest through self-pleasure, manifest what you want and put that energy and allow it to go into the universe of what you're desiring. And it's proven to help you overcome body image issues, to help you give more confidence. When we have a climax, then it also blocks pain receptors in our brain to help us push past and do things that we wouldn't normally be comfortable for, like asking for a raise or speaking on a public stage, creating art that you're putting out into the world, creating a new business. All these things are creativeness that can come from that, releasing that shame and bringing the power to yourself through sensuality and sexuality.
That's so beautiful. I love it. So for the people who, that's interesting because you brought it up, like saying that we can actually manifest with the sexual energy. And it goes back again. We are the creators of our life. Like I always keep saying that we are living in illusion and we are actually creating our own reality. And that exactly coincides with what you were just sharing, because when we connect to the point that as we are co-creators with the universe and we are creating our life, it's awesome to have that creativity in our sexual energy, because it's also creating, right? So when we climax, we actually manifesting whatever we intentionally set the dreams for, whatever comes in our mind. Can you share some tips or how people would start, let's say, especially a lot of women, if they never explore that sexual energy, what would be some strategies or some tips, what to start from?
So I always suggest that you get in touch with your body first. If self-pleasure is taboo for women, it's not for men, it's celebrated for men, but a lot of women have been told their whole life that it's something that isn't good, that you're gonna, be shamed, and it's, all the religious connotations, family connotations, and belief systems around self-pleasure. So just start with touch, because we go through our days every day and we touch ourselves, we do our makeup, we do our hair, we get dressed, we shower, but we forget to feel our bodies. And so the first step that you can do is when you're in the shower or the bath, just simply feel what's going on instead of just like going through the motions. Like sometimes you get out of the shower, I know this happens to me, and it's like, oh, did I even shower? Like, did I shave my legs? I don't even remember because I'm just in that routine. But to just feel the water on your skin, feel the temperature, feel like when you're touching your skin, what do you feel? Do you feel like do you feel the hairs on your skin? Do you feel the texture? Do you feel your fingerprints? And touch yourself and just slow down. And what does the shower smell like? What does it feel like on your skin? And then when you get out, take a couple extra minutes. And when you're putting on your lotion, actually feel every bit of your skin. What's that temperature? What's the texture? And that starts to increase your oxytocin, which is that cuddle chemical that creates an emotional bond with someone else, but it's what you're creating, that emotional bond with yourself and creating that self-love. And you'll notice a big difference just after you just slow down by 2 minutes and do this. And use the body lotion that you've been saving for a special occasion. Don't just bring it out then. Use it every day because it's replenishing you. And break out those things that you love. Use the bath oil that's sitting on the shelf in your bathroom looking at you like, oh, I don't need to use that right now. I'll save that for when I'm going to go out. Do it for yourself. It creates a different love for you.
Oh my God, that's so beautiful, Tiffany. You know what it brought to me? It's we have, like, for me, the biggest holiday is New Year's Eve because I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. And obviously, growing up in former Soviet Union, we were trained not to believe in God, right? So for us, the biggest holiday was New Year. And for me, for New Year, it's like a tradition. I always unpack a new perfume box because I just want, and this is just, like bringing that connection because you said, like, don't save, the lotion or anything. And I'm very notorious for that. Like, if I purchase the bag, I have to use it like next day. And I remember my mom used to say to me, but wait, let it just stay. And I'm saying, to stay for what, right? Because she still has that old mentality where we lived in the country where everything was the deficit. But here, luckily, living in the States, that we have that access available to everything. So it's great because I think for women, we can experience it even on a deeper level. Like, just remember, for me, like, therapeutic even to go to the store sometimes just to unwind myself, not necessarily buy something, but even just go through the racks or look at the jewelry pieces. It's already just given me that healing vibes. So for us women, it's important how we look, how we smell, what we put on ourselves. And it's great tip saying that we actually have to be more in touch with our bodies and really take our time to feel everything, to get sensual with the smells, with all the five sensors that we are using, and just use it on ourselves and be more mindful.
Yeah, I love exploring all the senses because we just take advantage, I think, of a lot of times of what we have and what we do and what's available to us, and that we just get in these ruts and we just go through our day and we don't even experience it. And so stop and smell different things. If you're in the grocery store, pick up fruit and smell it, like appreciate those things that are around you and the beauty in everyday life.
So beautiful. And what comes to me is a good also technique is journaling, right? We can actually journal at the end of the day. What was our experience with ourselves in terms of how did we feel when we put on that outfit, right? When we spray ourselves with these fragrances and everything, because it's so great to be in touch with our feelings, because we were all trained to use our logical mind for everything. So we are not even in touch with our feelings, right? So a lot of times people are saying, if you ask somebody's opinion, they always say, I think, right? They never say, I feel. So now it's a great time to start really be more self-aware and explore, like you said, our body, who we are, and get more in touch with the feeling, and really start to see how our skin feels, how our hair feels, and so on and so forth. And just stay and look at ourselves in the mirror and just appreciate ourselves. The more we have these self-love moments, the more we become in touch with who we are. Hey Toby, we love you too. Any other tips, Tiffany, that you would love to give to the listeners?
Just that feeling part. And if you're, we need a lot of hugs, and some of us are still isolated from COVID or COVID's back, or you're just working from home now instead of in an office and you're not having that interaction, and that we need 9 or 10 hugs a day just to be healthy. So hug yourself. Just grab yourself and hug yourself. And remember that love and creativity starts with you. And when you feel like, I just feel electric when I just even did that.
Yes. So true. Thank you, Braden, for your beautiful comment. We love you too. I don't know what happened with Tiffany. Must be something with her connection. But I would suggest, oh, yes. We lost you for a second when you were hugging, but you were just frozen with the beautiful image of hugging yourself. This is so important.
So just, remember to do that. I feel energized and connected now.
Yes, it's so true. So let's explore that sexual energy that we all have, right? So we have it for a reason, and it's worthy of exploration. Don't be scared, don't be shy, and just continue loving yourself and connect that sexual energy, understanding that the more sexual energy you have, it means the more life force you have, and it means that you can create better and you can be successful in any area of your life. And if you have any more questions, reach out to Tiffany, reach out to me, and it's great to see you at the episode. Please continue comment, please continue participating, because your participation is matter, and we really want to know that it's helpful. Thank you so much, and keep exploring yourself, and see you on the next episode. Have a beautiful day.